All right, welcome to today's live cast. Today's live coaching, I'm going to be talking about framework number three. So just to recap, um, in framework number one, we talked about basically building the digital foundation. What is the foundation of your online presence? Now this framework that I'm talking about relates to my blueprint, Free Leads Blueprint. If you could get that at freeleadsblueprint.com, I'm going to try to see if I can put a link at the bottom. But if you can't, if I don't do that, then you can check out the description or the below, and you'll see the link freeleadsblueprint.com. So in my blueprint, I'm gonna there's the older version has a little bit more, but I've basically made it a little more compact and made it into five framework. And so the first framework we talked about is in the previous video. We talked about building the foundation, which is building out your lead magnet, building out your email sequences or emails that is going to go out. And then we talked about your basically online presence and social media. Okay. The second part, I believe, which is important for in terms of generating organic traffic and free leads, is um, building out your reputation management and your Google business profile, right? For more in-depth on discussion on that, you can watch the other framework, the other videos that are listed on the playlist. I'm gonna eventually create a playlist on my YouTube channel. If you can't, if you're on my other platforms, you can scroll down and take a look at my other videos that are in, whether it's in my Facebook group or not. Okay. All right, so today, um, with regard to the traffic component. Now that you have your digital foundation and you have your Google Business Profile, now you got to figure out where are you going to send the traffic to, and ways of doing that. Okay, and the first we're going to talk about five items. The first one I think is the most, in my opinion, the most underutilized, and um, people don't utilize it as much as I think they should, which is basically email marketing. Um, when you look at all of the social media, all the channels, um, you don't own those platforms, and so I hear story after story of people losing their YouTube channel, their Instagram account, and basically that has affected their business. Whereas if you focus on building your email list, right, and coming from any of the social media platforms, and if your goal is to build your email list, that becomes your asset. That becomes the most important part of your business, right? So, and then you can utilize that email to send out email. And so, I think, um, and even those people that are local, right? So, like I used to run I actually currently do have a real estate business, and so over 10 years in business, I've collected um, hundreds, if not thousands, of business cards, right? And so, if you take all of those business cards, that could be your start of basically uh, i- putting your email list, your all the name and your contacts into some sort of an email platform or a CRM, and utilizing that to creating um, start basically emailing out to those people, and that becomes your email marketing and building your traffic. All right, and then number two, the one that I'm going to talk about, item number two is um, local SEO as it regards to basically optimizing and really utilizing Google Business Profile to generate local traffic within your local market, right? And I think right now, if you're ahead of everybody and you're really focusing on that, you can have great results through Google Business Profile. And I know people right now that are killing it and generating business directly from Google Business Profile, and it's free. Um, and optimizing it is it's going to take time, like in anything, any platform. All right. Item number three is global SEO. Now, global SEO is really basically focusing on not only local traffic but global traffic. And so, in order for you to do that, you have to have a website, right? You have so in order to get ranked below the local. So whenever you do a Google search, right, and typically when you do a search, you'll see local results, and then you'll see underneath it the global results, right? And in order to rank on in global search, you have to have a website. And so in order to so that means you have to optimize and do push out content through your website in order to rank there. Okay. All right. And the next item that I want to talk about in terms of traffic is video marketing. Now, video marketing, um, you can look at video marketing in the context of just pushing out video content, but in video content on social media, whether you do lives like what I'm doing right now, or whether you're doing, um, just pushing out reels on Instagram. But what I'm talking about with video marketing is utilizing the power of YouTube in combination with the number one search engine, which is Google, right? And so because Google and YouTube are both owned by Google, and YouTube is the number two search engine, it works hand in hand to create that SEO. I guess call it SEO power, SEO juice, so that you can get ranking and you can get traffic from people searching for your solution to their problem. So because at the end of the day, why do people go to Google, or why do people go to YouTube? They're looking for a solution to a specific problem that they have, right? And so when you um, and so the kind of traffic that typically people you get from either a Google search or a YouTube search is that they are specifically they're more warmer than um, the typical, like social media, people finding you through social media, because those people are like literally, as one of my as somebody that I met this week, or was it last week? They basically literally have their credit card like out and willing to buy because they are looking for a solution to a problem. Okay. And so number four is video marketing, and I think and the power of video marketing is that you are there visually so that people get to know you, like you, and trust you, and so they're more inclined to purchase from you. Okay. The number five that I want to talk about is events. Now, events, whether you're doing weekly, monthly, quarterly, or annual events, any consistency, right? Um, where you're providing value in exchange for people signing up, registering for free or for a price, a set price. Um, that's another way to generate traffic your um, to your landing page or to your website. Now, when it comes to events, and it's also applicable to in other instances, but more specifically, I think events is going to be more important um, than any other source of traffic. Whether you push out a lead magnet or some sort of a downloadable, something where people can download. I think event is will is and will always be out there is the number one. My opinion is a search and traffic source, is because I think as there are more and more information, like information overload, and then there is also then also platform. I think there's a number of platforms is ever growing, right? People are looking for solutions, and if you can provide that solution in some sort of a webinar or event form, that is where you provide value, and so people are willing to pay for that, you know, and whether you provide it for free and then you provide a solution of value at the end. um, that's where the value comes in, and that's where you're providing value. Now, when it comes to events, in order for you to, at a certain point, when you, um, you know, how it depends on how big your social media following is and how big your email list. You may not necessarily need to pay to run ads or like push out content. But if you follow what we do in terms of generating organic traffic and pushing out regular content and doing it in such a way that you generate organic free leads. But there maybe comes a time when you need to scale, right? So at a certain point, you need to scale in order to grow your audience, to expand your reach. And that's where you need to put money into ads, and you need to put money into whether it's Facebook ads, YouTube ads, LinkedIn, any type of ads. Now, the way that I have been trained or taught by who I follow right now is Peng Joon. Um, um, the way that I have learned when it comes to running ads is that the right way to run ads is not just dumping money, but your goal is for every $1 you put in, you have to get in return two, three, four, five. So basically, you're when you have cracked the code in spending X number of X amount to get a return, that's where you've cracked the code on running ads. And so if you can figure that out, and rather than most people think of running ads as kind of like, just extend it's an expense that they have to incur. But if you do it the right way, you're going to get a return for every $1 you spend on ads. Okay, so um, let me just go ahead and so let me recap. So number one is email marketing. Number two is local SEO ranking, local traffic. And number three is global traffic. And that requires you to have a website. And that's something that we're going to talk about in our future, my next framework that I'm going to talk about. And then number four is video marketing, because YouTube is the number two search engine. And then lastly is events with pay ads to scale your business. All right. So that is it for framework number three. And so we're going to be talking about framework number 4 and 5 in our future next episode in the next 2 weeks. And so if you do have any questions, there is a link below. You can post your questions. It'll take you to a Google form, which you can submit your questions, and I will answer them in my future live episodes of this live every Thursday. All right. Thanks for watching, and I will see you next time. Okay. Bye.